morning, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Thank y'all so much for tapping back in to see what I have to say. I promise y'all, it truly does mean the world to me. But with that being said, we're talking about Quant Network, okay? But before we get started, listen, my page, it hit a major first milestone. I have 1,000 subs. I do not look at that lightly. That is absolutely incredible. Thank you guys so much. I hit that Friday, and within 2 days, I had an additional 200 subs. So now I'm sitting over 1,200 subs at the time of making this video. And I want to say thank y'all. Thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. Thank y'all for tapping in and finding value in the information that's being disseminated on the page. I truly, truly appreciate that. So with that being said, if you haven't already subbed, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification thing, hit the like button, and leave a comment. Ask anybody, you can't really ask, but go look. I hit up every single comment because what you guys are asking me, what you guys are telling me, or if it's just the key phrase or the code word at the end of the video, thank y'all. Because I respond to each and every one of them because y'all are important to me. And this is no cap. So here we go. We all talked about Oracle, 430,000 customers, Oracle, right? But there was some information that came out right before that information about Oracle that was way bigger than Oracle's 430,000 customers. Quant Network has been working with a global standard setting body called the IETF, which stands for the Internet Engineering Task Force. Now, you want to know who they are? They were established in 1986. They are the global standard setting body for the internet. I'm going to say that again. They are the global standard setting body for the internet. So that means any jurisdiction that wants to tap into the internet and allow other jurisdictions to be able to seamlessly interoperate like we do today, where you can email somebody in China or Russia or Japan, just like that. That's a global standard, part of the IETF. And understand now that Quant Network is tied to a IETF standard called Secure Asset Transfer Protocol. Y'all understand what this means. Understand, and I know I say understand a lot, right? I saw that in the last video, but my bad, but just follow me on this, right? Understand who the IETF is and understand them having a standard protocol that will go across the internet that taps into Quant Network's technology, Overledger. Did you really understand and hear what I just said? There is a standard protocol, which means every country will have to adopt the standard that operates in the internet. There's a standard protocol that is now active and approved, by the way. Okay, this is a live standard protocol that Quant Network's Overledger, their software as a service, is now a part of. Follow me on this. But we're going to hop into that first video. This first video is coming from my boy MindCrypto. Bro, you rock. You really, truly do. Your brother from across the pond. Thank you for doing what you do. But he's going to dive a little bit into Secure Asset Transfer Protocol, okay? I'm going to play this video and I'm going to be right back.
The title of the paper is Standards and Interoperability, the Future of the Global Financial System. And he said that this is hot. In it, they talk about the BIS, the Unified Ledger, which uses Quant APIs, as well as the Secured Asset Transfer Protocol, SATP, the IETF protocol founded by Quant and MIT for standardizing interoperability of digital assets. Some people find these reports boring, but the real ones know this is where we find our ultimate edge. And we will look at that in just a moment. But we also see this from Quantosaurus. And he screenshotted something from LinkedIn. And we see here Gilbert Verdin replying to Ananya Kumar at the Associate Director of Geoeconomic Center, Atlantic Council. He says here, great to see the work we have been doing in ISO the International Organization for Standardization TC 307, and the IETF SATP referenced in the Atlantic Council report. So we can have a look at this and the standards and interoperability, the future of the global financial system. What I'm going to do is I'm not actually going to go through it all, but I'm going to read the bits that I feel are quite important. And as we can see here, defining the standards. At the heart of this paper is the effort to promote interoperability in payment systems and prevent the creation of walled garden. Now, we've heard that a lot from Gilbert's mouth. We therefore define standards as the technical, regulatory and governance benchmarks needed to achieve interoperable systems in the long run. It's crucial to recognize that standards do not emerge arbitrarily. Instead, they evolved from fundamental principles embodying intentional consideration and consensus. Standards specific to CBDCs are not unchanging. They must reflect and be responsive to technological development, market shifts, and experience. Standards are established by technical and governance bodies, often made up of diverse stakeholders, and reflect a consistent floor for pragmatic implementation across jurisdictions. Therefore, they must have built-in flexibility to adjust to changing circumstances across a variety of market structures, which is very, very exciting. So then we move to the Bank of International Settlements, and we see this. The BIS acts as a central bank for central banks, fostering money and financial stability globally. It actively explores the impact of digital currencies on the financial system and central bank operations. The BIS Innovation Hub facilitates research and development on digital innovation, helping members countries adapt to rapidly evolving digital asset landscape. Its members consist of 63 central banks and monetary authorities. Recent significant projects include Project Mariana, which tested cross-border trading using CBDCs and decentralized finance technology, and Project Icebreaker, which focused on using retail CBDCs for international payments through a novel hub and spoke model, both completing their test phase in 2023. Most recently, Project Seller, a collaboration between the BIS Innovation Hub Hong Kong Center, the Bank of Israel, and Hong Kong Monetary Authority, focused on exploring RCBDC features including accessibility, cybersecurity, and effective public-private collaboration, with an emphasis on central banks overseeing retail ledgers and private intermediaries managing customer-facing services. In July 2023, the BIS presented the results of a survey showing that 93% of central banks are engaged in CBDC work. With retail CBDC development more advanced than wholesale CBDC, the survey revealed most central banks recognize the value of having both a retail CBDC and a fast payment system.
See, coming from my boy MindCrypto, you just saw, bro, you rock. They're not tied to just one global standard, which is ISO TC 307. They're tied to another global standard, which is Secure Asset Transfer Protocol. And in both of those standards, they are providing the interoperability. Now, understand with ISO TC 307, which is Quant Network's baby, there are 8 working groups. Quant Network CEO Gilbert Verdian is over Working Group 7, which is the working group for interoperability. Think about that. I have a software as a service that provides interoperability between Web 2 and Web 3. I am over the interoperability part of this standard, and what I bring to the table of this standard is also interoperability. Is someone not connecting the dots about Overledger and how it literally just that? The Overledger, the ledger that connects everything, the unified ledger, the ledger, because it is the network of networks. Understand what is being laid out right in front of us, okay? For real, y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in. But follow me on this. I'm going somewhere. So in this next video, it is going to be a part of a collaboration that MaximusCrypto, bro, you rock, and myself did. And we actually did a video about Secure Asset Transfer Protocol, but I wanted to dive deeper into it so you guys can really understand and see why and how this is important. And it's so much bigger than crypto because it's almost essentially by investing in QNT or holding QNT, let me say it that way because this is not financial advice, but by holding QNT, you will essentially be holding a key that is tied directly into the next layer of the internet. Listen to what I'm telling you guys. Follow me on this. So here we go. That next video, we're going to dive into secure asset transfer protocol just a little bit more.
Financial IT. And it states, we welcome Swift's newfound focus on interoperability. But as it embarks on its latest experiment, we're working on live institution-grade solutions, and yes, you read that right, built on Overledger, our platform that solved interoperability back in 2018. We also established blockchain ISO standard 2016 and the IETF Secure Asset Transfer Protocol with MIT in 2022. Okay, who's quoting this? Well, you guys know the drill. Gilbert Verdi search. If you were to look this up for yourself, is Quant's Overledger the SATP gateway for the IETF, the Internet Engineering Task Force? Yes. Quant's Overledger platform can be considered the gateway for the Secure Transfer Protocol, or Asset Transfer Protocol, within the IETF, as Quant actively participates in the Internet Engineering Task Force Working Group, developing the SATP standard and leveraging it heavily within their Overledger technology to facilitate secure cross-chain asset transfers, essentially acting as a bridge between different blockchain networks and, of course, using the SATP protocol. There's a little bit more about this. SATP and Quant. Quant is a key contributor to the development of SATP, a protocol designed to securely transfer digital assets across different blockchain networks. All right, what about the Internet Engineering Task Force? The SATP standard is developed within the IETF working group where Quant actively participates. I mean, we've seen this, especially with MIT, Thomas Zerjana, collaborations with Quant. All right, Overledger functionality. That utilizes SATP to enable interoperability between various blockchains, effectively acting as a gateway for SATP-based asset transfers. Your take on this?
That's a lot. So kind of sort of think of it like you just said, layer, right? Quant has a different layer, like an overlay, right? So think of it as IBM, early days of internet, your dial-up, segmented internet. Microsoft comes along, late 90s, early 2000s, put the layer of code on top of that, essentially, which gives us www, the World Wide Web, both working with the Internet Engineering Task Force, both Microsoft and IBM. Now think of Quant's Overledger and things like SATP all tied into that. It's going to be that layer that sits on top of IBM and Microsoft's code, that overlay, that building out that internet of value, the actual, to be able to send money, literally send money, not a message of the money being sent, but the literal money being sent via the internet. That's why SATP is so important, Secure Asset Transfer Protocol, because it is literally securing the assets of these multinationals, these central banks, these corporations. It hasn't officially been announced about Project Agora, who the tech stack is being used, but I'm more than sure, I'm willing to bet that Quant and Overledger and SATP is a part of that, is because you literally have central banks tokenizing central bank money, you have commercial banks tokenizing commercial bank money, and these things are being sent cross-border. How do you do this in a secure manner? Well, you do it via a standard, SATP. That's a standard. Something that we all can come in, we can send and receive and transmit data with each other, seamless, securely, because once it leaves one network, it's burned and then it's minted on the other network. So that cuts out any wormholes or loops that could be taken from in the middle. So it's an incredible thing. I say incredible a lot when it comes to Quant Network, but they are just that. Like, they have taken the time to think of almost every piece of web that you can think of and then bring solutions to that. And it's not just them, it's them working alongside of, like you said, MIT and Swift. And like we also know things like Hedera and Ripple and the Bank of England and the Federal Reserve of America, all these NIST, all of these expertise coming together, literally building out a framework so that now once these big institutions start to come to this web to play, via things like your SOB 121 being overturned, and now banks can now start to custody crypto. Well, I want to be able to ensure that, if I'm custodying this crypto and I need to transfer from this bank to another bank, that this is going to be done securely and that I won't lose customer funds in the process. What are you going to tap into? You're going to tap into the standard secure asset transfer protocol. Think of Quant, think of Overledger as overlay sitting on top of the traditional rails of internet and allowing the traditional rails of internet and those processes and those systems that now reside in the traditional rails of internet, now being able to, that TradFi and that crypto or the Web3 space being bridged together. That's what 2025 is. And that's what things like Secure Asset Transfer Protocol is allowing them to do. Be that bridge, be that gateway, use those APIs so that they can seamlessly integrate into the traditional systems. And it's literally like another day at work. And there it is. But I'll kick it back to you, brother.
Now you just saw directly from that collaboration with Maximus and myself, you saw how Quant is tied directly to these things and being named. You can Google it. You can Google it and the information is there, meaning they're not being closed door. Think about it like this. Before this part of time in history, anytime major moves like this were happening globally, the little man had no clue it was happening. And you saw the big people, after everything was implemented, get even more rich, and we either stayed the same as far as little people or got poor. Because these decisions are normally made in secret behind closed doors. But entering into the realm of Web3, the realm of decentralization, the realm of transparency, the realm of immutability, all these things mean that everything is open. This is the reason why they're talking about putting Elon Musk with the Department of Doge is talking about putting certain things of the government on blockchain. And it's because it makes it 1000% transparent, which means that if I'm now paying my tax dollars into this system, I can now tap into the system and see exactly where my tax dollars are going as far as who's being funded what money is going where, how is the budget getting balanced, because all these things are being tracked via a blockchain, or what the powers that be call distributed ledger technologies. They're rebranding the whole space of blockchain. That's the reason why they are tokenizing assets and securities as opposed to making NFTs of assets and securities. But it's the same exact thing, but they are rebranding this space so that the institutions can use it. Understand, this is the reason why these standards are so important. This is the reason why all of these moves are being made, and for Quant Network to be right there. And not just right there, but giving such a critical piece of infrastructure to the system that we all are moving to globally as far as the digital age. And not only just a part of it, but their technology is now patented in multiple countries across the world. Multiple. We're talking Japan, China, America, the UK, all of the EU. We're talking Russia, India. They're tied to all of these places globally because their technology Overledger is just that. It is the Overledger. It is the unified ledger. It is literally, you guys, the thing that connects every single network in the world. And what they mean by network is as these corporations globally start to dive into the realm of Web3, they will have to build out blockchains, or as what they call them, distributed ledger technologies, which are blockchains, okay? But they're networks. That's why things like the regulated liability network, the RLN, what I went over in my last video this past weekend, that's a network. You have these entities will all have networks that ties into each other. It's just like Ethereum, that's a network. Ripple, type it into XRP, that's a network. Hedera, that's a network. IOTA, that's a network. XDC, that's a network. All tying into Overledger. Now you have these public-facing networks and the private-facing networks, which would be things like what the banks have and maybe big corporations have, where they may have some things that you can see publicly, but most of their stuff will be on a private network, but it's still a network. And know that Overledger, Quant Network, software as a service, is the world's first truly interoperable system that connects networks to networks, that is now tied directly to at least 2 global standards. Understand what's being laid out in front of us. For real, you guys, like, see it for exactly what it is. But in this next video, my boy MaximusCrypto did something really cool with AI and that article that came out in regards to the IETF. He put it into AI and the AI summarized it and it made it into a video form. So that's the video that we're getting ready to play right now. So, but it's very, very informational, and it ties and it shows you kind of sort of and tells why and how they're using Overledger in these standards. Okay, so follow me on this. I'm going somewhere because all roads lead to Quant, and Gilbert is coming up in this video talking about secure asset transfer protocol. Follow me on this, okay? But that next video.
Interoperability between traditional financial systems and decentralized infrastructures is a pressing challenge in the evolving landscape of digital assets. The framework proposed by Rafael Belchior et al. Sheds light on the complexities of this integration, emphasizing the need for security, privacy, and regulatory compliance. As blockchain technology continues to mature, the concept of ledger gateways emerges as a pivotal solution, enabling seamless communication and asset transfers across diverse networks. These standardized service interfaces promise to bridge the existing gaps, facilitating a more cohesive financial ecosystem. The introduction of the Secure Asset Transfer Protocol, SATP, further enhances the potential for secure transactions, ensuring that asset integrity is maintained across various platforms. The delineation of different API models illustrates a structured approach to managing the complexities of blockchain interoperability, offering institutions a pathway to navigate the regulatory landscape without the burden of direct blockchain management. The proposal of gateway service providers, GSPs, opens avenues for specialized services that can cater to institutional needs, reinforcing the importance of compliance in this rapidly evolving sector. As organizations look to adopt these frameworks, the ongoing efforts under initiatives like Hyperledger Cacti provide a foundation for collaboration and innovation. However, the journey is not without its challenges. Privacy preservation and the need for diverse regulatory adherence remain critical hurdles that must be addressed. The call for continued research and standardization efforts highlights the necessity for a unified approach to these issues, which will ultimately enhance the interoperability of blockchain technologies. For organizations like Quant Network, this paper validates their vision and positions them favorably within the discourse on blockchain integration. The alignment of Quant's goals with the proposed frameworks offers a strategic advantage, particularly as institutional interest in interoperability solutions grows. By actively participating in the development of standardized protocols and collaborating with other entities in the space, Quant can further solidify its standing as a leader in the realm of digital asset management. As the landscape becomes increasingly competitive, the emphasis on innovation and differentiation will be paramount for Quant to maintain its edge. The insights from this paper not only reinforce the significance of the work already underway, but also illuminate the path forward in the pursuit of a more interconnected financial future.
See, now wasn't that cool? Wasn't it informational? Maybe you learned a little something about that you didn't know about secure asset transfer protocol. Follow me on this, or Overledger. Follow me on this, y'all. Follow me, okay? So in this next video that we're going to go into, it is literally Gilbert Verdian. He's in an interview, and he's literally talking about secure asset transfer protocol. Follow me on this, y'all. This is nothing not to not tap into and understand exactly what Overledger is and understand what is the key that powers the network, and that is QNT. Understand what that means when these big institutions truly start utilizing Web3 and what that means for Overledger and what it means for QNT. Understand, you guys, this is nothing not to be fully coming in and focusing. And don't get me wrong, people have been in the comments and they talked about other networks. This is not saying that Overledger is the end all and be all. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the reason why all of those other networks are going to thrive, like your XRP and your Hedera and your XLM and your IOTA and your XDCs and any other ISO token or any other network that anyone else builds in the world will thrive, is because it is now interoperable. That is something that is not in existence right now when it comes to Web3. All of those networks I just named are all segmented blockchains. They are not interconnected. And what Overledger does is interconnect them all, which essentially gives it WWL, which stands for Worldwide Ledger. Understand what's happening right now. But here we go. This next video coming right from Gilbert Verdian himself.
We all have inherited a very fragmented domestic payment system in each country. And the very nature of sovereignty has not allowed payment flows to be cross-border very easily from the outset as they were designed. So having that as a baseline, how do we integrate different domestic payment systems with each other so that you can have seamless...
Yeah, but just to be clear, is the SATP is like a technical standard, is it?
Yeah, so what we've done is we've worked with MIT and we've created within the IETF, so Internet Engineering Task Force, which is where the home of TCP/IP, HTTP, everything kind of sits within the IETF. So the SATP was approved, and that is a working group to create an RFC, a request for comment, which basically is a document for a protocol. And the whole thesis behind what needs solving is the gateway-to-gateway interconnectivity between networks. So if you treat a domestic payment system as a single network, you want to connect the UK network to the European network, to the US network, etc. The gateways are the ones that are going to do all the work between networks. And so SATP solves that problem by having the routing between gateways, the discoverability, and then the transactions between gateways. So having a globally accepted standard and a globally accepted protocol is a great way to integrate and interoperate different jurisdictions and different networks with a common language.
Blockchain is spurring a revolution in the way we create, record, and trade value. Its benefits, security, transparency, efficiency, can be applied to areas as diverse as payments, capital markets, and supply chains. That's why assets of all kinds are being tokenized on blockchains, making their ownership immutable, their provenance traceable, and their use manageable. The potential is enormous, but every blockchain is complex and creates a different walled garden of connections and functionality. Today, the decentralized world of blockchain is made up of closed environments, limiting liquidity and leading to increased risk and lost opportunity. Every digital asset must be created specifically for each chain, demanding dedicated developer skills which are hard to find, time-consuming to master, and expensive to develop. Overledger Platform from Quant establishes a new benchmark for blockchain interoperability and ease of use. As a low-code enterprise-grade platform, Overledger empowers you to deploy, connect, and develop on any blockchain quickly and simply. With Overledger, you can generate an interoperable digital asset with just a few clicks, create secure smart contracts that can execute on any blockchain without having to hire a team of experts. And you can use its advanced APIs to integrate with your systems and manage your assets on multiple chains. We believe that the blockchain economy should be simple, trusted, and future-proof. These are our principles and the genesis of Overledger Platform, the enterprise standard for building on blockchain.
Now, you just heard directly from the CEO's mouth himself. You heard from Gilbert Verdian, the CEO of Quant Networks, mouth himself, talking about secure asset transfer protocol. And I even threw a little video of Overledger in there just so you could truly understand what is happening, truly understand the information that's out there, truly understand the opportunity, knowing about QNT token and knowing about Overledger and knowing about Quant Network in 2025 is because they are not moving like a little, and this is no dig on no other network out there, but no little DGen, backroom basement network. They are working with some of the biggest entities in the world. Quant Network is working with the Bank of International Settlements, which is the central bank of central banks. They're working with the Bank of England directly. Gilbert Verdian himself has worked on several things with the Federal Reserve of America. You have the ISO Global Standard Setting Body. You have INAPA, which is another global standard setting body. You have the IETF, which is another global standard setting body. You have the European Union or Commission, whatever the thing that he still sits on, which is a global standard setting body for Europe. Understand what is truly happening and understand that he is providing the world the solution to a huge and major problem, because what you guys aren't tapping into right now is all of the hacks that have been happening globally. The IRS got hacked. Just here in America alone. I'm sure if you're in other countries, you probably have heard on your news about other hacks that have happened, showing that the system is not safe as we think it is. But like I said, the IRS got hacked here in America. You had the Treasury get hacked. You had AT&T get hacked. You had the whole calamity with CrowdStrike and Microsoft that happened that showed us how one thing could just bloop and everything's a blue screen. Understand what they're doing. They're showing us that there's a problem because Overledger is the solution. Understand what I'm saying to y'all, because they need to shake our trust. So when they come and say, hey, we have a solution to the problems that we are facing with all of these cyber attacks that keep happening. We now have a system that is safe and resilient that we've now been testing in the background for years. None of these things that's being announced right now is something that just started yesterday. They've been working in the background on this stuff for years. Think about it. 2016 is when ISO TC 307 was put into existence. Think about that. You have things going all the way back to 2018 as far as IETF and the Secure Asset Transfer Protocol. Understand, these are not things, and we're sitting now in 2025. Understand what's happening, that they have been testing these things in the background. It is safe, it is resilient, it is future-proof, as we need it to be in this moment in time. And it is now being patented. And it is now being standardized globally. Understand? For real, y'all. But with all of that being said, I truly Thank y'all for tapping in, and I thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for the 1,200 subs. It means the world to me. It really does, because just recently I was in the low hundreds and now I'm at 12. Thank y'all. And if you haven't liked, comment, or subscribed by now, please do so. And because you see that I'm giving you real deal information, but it can show you truly what a little bit of foresight of today can do for your tomorrow. Another thing, before I let y'all go, because your time is very valuable to me. You guys, time is truly the only currency that we have. So it is not lightly, I don't take it lightly, that you're choosing to spend your time with me, because that is truly an exchange of currency. And I thank you for that. And that's from the bottom of my heart. But with that being said, if you made it all the way through the whole video, type in IETF. That way I know you made it through the entire video. And y'all already know, for real this time. Peace out.